instant you feel the urge to explain yourself, something has already shifted. A sideways comment, a subtle question about your competence. Your chest tightens, your mind scrambles to defend the picture of yourself that's being threatened. Your instinct is to speak, to clarify. But the moment you start defending, you lose control. Power isn't determined by facts, it's determined by frame. The person who explains signals you get to judge me, becoming a defendant in an invisible courtroom, legitimizing an attack that never deserved oxygen. And the more you speak, the worse it gets. Your voice speeds up. You sound like someone trying to be believed, not someone who knows their ground. In moments of tension, people don't listen for truth. They listen for certainty. And certainty never explains itself. The alternative isn't aggression. It's stillness. It's refusing to participate in the game at all. It requires letting go of the desperate need to be understood. Because when you can let that go, you gain something far more valuable than approval. You gain control.
Why does defending yourself feel so automatic, yet so often make things worse? The answer started long before your last argument. Think back to childhood. When an authority figure accused you of something, your only escape was explanation. It wasn't me, it fell, they started it. So now a critical tone from your partner feels like danger. You unconsciously cast everyone as a judge, your boss, the internet, a stranger, and you step into the role of the defendant. But here's the rule. Whoever answers is losing power, structurally. By rushing to explain, you confirm their authority to evaluate you. It's submission dressed up as communication. The mental shift is this. Stop treating people like judges. Their accusations stop being verdicts and become what they are, perspectives. And perspectives are optional. The moment you see there is no courtroom, the urgency drains away. You gain a choice. You can stop playing a game that was never fair to begin with, setting the stage for the most destabilizing move of all, silence.
Imagine the situation. Someone throws a verbal strike your way, a sharp accusation, a loaded comment. Your mind races for a response. Your body leans in, ready to reclaim control. But instead of speaking, you stop. You hold your posture. You maintain eye contact, and you let the silence stretch. 3 seconds. 4. 5. What happens next isn't accidental. It's biological. Silence in a confrontation creates a psychological vacuum. The human nervous system is deeply uncomfortable with unresolved tension, and the person who feels that discomfort most intensely is the attacker. They expected resistance. Without it, their energy collapses inward. Watch them. They'll speak again, softening the accusation, justifying themselves. Without a word, you flipped the roles. They are now explaining. They are now filling the void you created. But understand, the real battle is internal. Your ego screams to defend yourself, but the moment you say, "I'm not a bad person," you've shown them the lever. Silence reveals nothing. It's a dark mirror. All they see is their own aggression reflected back. And when the time comes to finally speak, you won't push back against their attack. You'll pull it.
When someone accuses you, your instinct is to resist, to argue, to defend your name. But that resistance is exactly what they want. It creates friction, giving them relevance and power. So instead of pushing back, you do something far more destabilizing. You lean in. The tactic is called agree and amplify, a form of psychological jujitsu. Imagine someone says, "You're obsessed with money." Don't justify yourself. Exaggerate. "You're right. I keep gold bars under my bed. Tuesdays are inventory days. It's exhausting." Deliver it with a flat tone, minimal emotion. You just refused the insult by turning it into a caricature. This isn't about being funny. It's about signaling amused mastery. It's the calm posture an adult has to a child's tantrum. You don't kneel down and scream with the child. You stay standing. The attacker wanted to wound you. Instead, you took their weapon and turned it into a prop. You've just communicated that your identity is not up for negotiation, and that is deeply unsettling to anyone who relies on pressure to gain control.
In any conflict, there's a hidden game. One person asks the questions, the other explains, and whoever explains loses. Accusations like, "What were you thinking?" aren't requests for information. They are power moves designed to put you on trial. Most people accept the role of defendant instantly. They justify, they argue, and in doing so, they confirm the other person's authority. But there is a more advanced move. You don't answer the question. You analyze the questioner. Someone demands, "Why are you always so late?" Don't talk about traffic. Ask, "Why does my arrival time affect your mood so strongly?" Suddenly, you're no longer on trial. Their need for control is. This isn't aggression, it's conversational aikido. You calmly observe them like a specimen under glass. Your tone must be neutral, curious, almost detached. The power here is subtle, because you are no longer trying to win the argument. You are simply refusing to be positioned as lesser.
When someone attacks you, what if the most powerful move was to agree? Not as submission, but as erosion. It's a technique called fogging. Picture throwing a rock into a wall of fog. There's no impact, no drama. The energy just vanishes. Here's how it works. You separate the fact from the identity attack. Someone says, "You messed up this report. You're incompetent." The defensive move is to argue. The power move, "You're right. The report has errors. I'll fix them." And then you stop. You owned the fact and you ignored the label. They expected a fight. Instead, they hit empty air. Their narrative collapses. You're difficult to work with. A calm, sometimes yes, and then silence. It communicates total self-knowledge. It says, "I already know my flaws. You didn't discover anything." But this isn't just a script. If your voice shakes, it fails. Power isn't linguistic, it's embodied. Which brings us to the real question. Why do some labels sting and others just make you laugh? That answer lives in the shadow. Why does it hurt when someone attacks you? The answer is simple and uncomfortable. Because they're touching something you already doubt about yourself. If I told you that you had green skin, you wouldn't feel a thing. There's no internal agreement. But if someone calls you selfish and you feel that urge to defend, it's because a part of you suspects it might be true. That part lives in the shadow. It's everything you've disowned, your laziness, your fear, your mistakes. When you refuse to look at these parts, you leave them exposed to attack, and exposed things demand defense. The ultimate form of non-defense isn't clever words. It's admitting your flaws to yourself so no one can use them as weapons. It's the ability to calmly say, sometimes yes, and mean it. This makes you whole, and whole people are very hard to manipulate. So here's the experiment, the no defense challenge. For 7 days, you do not explain yourself. You're late? You say, "I'm late." You make a mistake? "That was my mistake." You will feel a strong discomfort. Let it burn. You are reclaiming energy that has leaked your entire life, stepping out of the role of the child seeking approval and into the role of the sovereign. The world will test this. It will bait you. Don't take the bait. Keep your stillness. And if this resonates with the part of you tired of performing, you already know what to do. Subscribe, because you're done being a prey animal.